Welcome in to Extreme Talk presented by Cornett Performance. A little bit about Cornett Performance. I'm talking about Eli Cornett. He is the man that has played eight-man football. He's played at the college level, and he knows what he's talking about. Cornett Performance offers one-on-one and group training, speed and agility training. It's football and track focused, and each athlete or client will have their own personal customized program. It's for ages 10 and up. They do online training sessions, and you can reach out to them. I'll give you the info here in just a second. You can book your free in-person or online 30-minute assessment today, and they do 45 and 60-minute sessions. It's $30 per session or per athlete. So you can hit them up. You shoot them an email, cornettperformance@gmail.com, or you can shoot them a DM at Cornett Performance on Instagram. Cornett, that's CORNETT, cornettperformance@gmail.com, or on Instagram at Cornett Performance. Let me bring in my co-host. He is a four-year starter. He's a former All-American, and he doesn't use exercise to get his heart rate up. He just watches Mississippi State football. Blake Biggs.
Thank you, James. Feels good to be 4-0. Just putting that out there, James.
Okay. All right. I see. I see. All right. Well, just wait till you play somebody good. Like Tennessee this Saturday.
Oh, somebody good. I guess Arizona State wasn't good at all. I mean, they haven't lost since they played us. I guess they aren't good. Oh well.
Oh
Hey, rank
goodness.
BYU over us. While
Fair
you're
enough.
at it, I dare you.
Have the rankings come out yet? The NCAA
Yeah, so
ones.
they got TCU and BYU over Mississippi State, which I cannot like.
Huh.
I know there's a lot of bias there, but I mean, BYU. Let's look at their schedule. Let's look at their
How
schedule.
far
They
did how
played.
far did Illinois drop? That's what I want to know.
Do you want coaches or AP? I feel like
Uh.
coaches is more credible.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah, Illinois dropped 15.
Because they were what, number 9?
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
here's what I think is ridiculous. All right, so in the receiving vote category, you got Arizona State with 104, Utah, Louisville, and Mississippi State with 57.
Hmm.
So head to head just does not matter anymore.
Well, I'll tell you where head to head does matter, and that is in the first ever 8-Man Extreme Southern Rankings, which we released last Monday. Kind of gave y'all a little bit of a tease
Yep.
last week where we were going through some of the numbers. The form is actually what we were working off of. So just couldn't tip our hat on that one. And I'll give you a spoiler. Tomorrow, the second version comes out. Second edition of it. There's a lot of movement, Blake. A lot of
Yeah.
lot of big games this past Friday night, and absolutely love it.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, good to see. What's it called? I know when you said the head to head, there was kind of a little instance with somewhere in Georgia, one team beat the other and was ranked ahead, but that has since been fixed in the very next poll, James.
it's a work
We'll
in
release that Monday.
it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. But a big shout out to everybody. Blake, I don't know about you. I was blown away by the response to the rankings. Currently, it is sitting just over 30,000 views of that graphic
Wow.
between Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or X. I don't know if you can call it Twitter anymore, but over 30,000 views of that graphic. So, huge thank you to y'all for really just giving a crap and caring and liking and sharing and commenting and all that good stuff. That means a lot. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Like I said, second edition comes out tomorrow. Um, and what we're going to talk about today here after we go over the scores is a little bit of the explanation that we put out last week. Blake, what was the official name we called it? What was the bylaws and breakdown or something?
Yeah, so we called it Yeah, I think it was the background and bylaws.
Background and bylaws, yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. So we're gonna talk through it because we did share that link out last week, but just to kind of give a little bit of an explanation on it and talk about it. Definitely wanted to do that. And then the other thing that we put out last week was the scoreboard, um, and I was really hoping that that would be a blessing for everyone. Obviously, if you want to see scores, now you have to you got to go to Max Preps and you got to find the conference and the team and blah blah blah. Now you have one link that you can click on. If you go to the link in our bio, we have a link tree in there. You click on the link, go to the link tree, and you can see the rankings. You can see the scoreboard. It's got a link for all of the state YouTube channels. Which, by the way, that was awesome Friday night. I had five
Yeah.
games going. I had the Evangel game going, which those guys do a great job. And then we had four games on our channels going. I had another game last night. But you can find the links for all those. And so now you can click one link, and this got tabs at the bottom. It's a Google Sheet, and you can see scores for every conference. And it's updated as soon as we've got the score, we're punching the score in, and so trying to update it as quick as possible. But Blake, let's run through some of these scores from last week. There were several great games, a lot of blowouts. Let's start over in Louisiana with the ACEL. Two games, one Friday night, one Saturday night. JPG hosting North Shore Vultures. JPG 74-0 moves them to 7-0 on the season. And then on Saturday night, Acadiana Christian hosting Midstate Homeschool. 52-0. Acadiana with the win moves them to 5-1. And then SWLA, Mount Olive Christian, Freedom Life, and First Baptist all on a bye. So big wins there for JPG and Acadiana, Acadiana, their only loss was to JPG. So rematch coming later on in the year. Let's stay in Louisiana and the Mississippi area. We're going to go MAIS, and then Blake, if you'll get ready, we'll go through.
Hey James, can you not to break the
You're good. You're
fourth
good. Go
wall or
for it.
anything? Can you share the sheet with me? I'm not seeing it on my end. I apologize.
No, you're good. Yeah, let me share this over to you real quick. It says you're shared. It says you got access to it. Um,
Okay. Is it
send
okay?
it send it to the
For
Gmail.
whatever reason, okay. Send it again because for whatever reason, not all of these scores are in on my part. I have no idea why, but
Okay. I'll send
yeah,
it.
I'm
You want me to send
sorry.
it to? No, you're good. Send it to iCloud.
Gmail, if you don't care, just
Okay.
resend it.
Or you could go to the link.
That's right. That's right. I'll
I'm
do
kidding.
that. Yep.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Shameless plug.
No,
Shameless plug.
shameless plug. Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to
Okay.
see scores from the last week? It's in the link in the bio.
Was that
Um,
that wasn't set up?
no, not at all. I promise you guys, it was not set up. Um, this is live radio. We're not that good. All right, so let's run through MAIS, and then, like I said, Blake, if you want to get ready for Mid South Christian Football League,
Yeah.
we'll kind of work west to east. MAIS, a ton of games on Friday night. Silva Bay at Benton Academy. Silva Bay, 54-24 win for them. River Oaks at Ben's Ford. River Oaks 48-21 over Ben's Ford. River Oaks still unbeaten. DeSoto School hosting North Sunflower, 60-6 DeSoto with the win. And Porter's Chapel Academy at Riverdale, 46-6. Riverdale still looking for their first win. Prairie View Academy, 30-6 over Christ Covenant. Prairie View is 5-0, as is Humphreys Academy with a 32-14 win over Deer Creek. Deer Creek only 4-1 though, so not bad. Columbus
Yeah.
Christian is another 5-0 team with a 66-38 win over Delta Streets. Lee Academy gets their first win of the year against a winless Hebron Christian, 44-0. Newton County Academy, 42-20 over Central Homes. Tallulah over Union, who's still looking for their first win, 38-0. Calhoun Academy, 50-20 over Delta Academy. Briarfield, 54-6 over Tensas. Claiborne, 58-8 over Franklin Academy. Claiborne is 4-0. Marvell Academy, 50-38 over Kemper. Prentice Christian 32-6 over Heritage Christian, still looking for their first win. And then Tunica went up to Arkansas to take on Corning High, came away with a loss 58-6. Corning over Tunica. Wilkinson County Christian and Hillcrest Christian on a bye. Blake, what do you got from Mid South?
Yeah. Hey, James, real quick before I read off Mid-South, because it's only two scores. Shout
Okay.
out some of the ranked teams from last week.
Yeah, so for MAIS, you have now this is their ranking from last Monday.
Yes.
Claiborne Academy number 19. Let's see, Columbus Christian number 21. Humphreys sitting at number 3, and that was a big eye opener, Blake, for a lot of people. A lot of people had never
Yeah.
even heard of Humphreys Academy. And a lot of these I actually talked to several people. About half of the teams, people were like, "Man, I had no idea this team existed." And so it started a
Wow.
huge conversation. The Florida teams, the MAIS teams, a lot of North Carolina, a lot of people had never heard of some of these teams, and now they're like, "Hey, this team's pretty good. This team might be pretty good."
Pretty legit. Yeah. Yeah,
River Oaks,
that's good to hear.
River Oaks at number 25, which a lot of people had a problem with, but they were 3-0 going in and had not played uh, anybody with a winning record, anybody really good team. So kind of had a place to start there, and we'll explain a little bit more about um, why some of these teams are sitting where they are here in a little bit. But yeah, that's the rankings for MAIS. ACEL, by the way, JPG at number 9 on last week's poll. So big win for them. I don't
Yeah.
think we had anybody from Mid South ranked though.
No, no one in Mid-South ranked yet. I'm not going to say too much. There's a couple that are close, but anyway, Pine Belt. They beat Meridian. They beat the Meridian Flyers on the road, 46-6 on Saturday. And Faithful Explorers, they pick up their third win against a pretty solid Southeastern Warriors team, close one, 30-28 on Saturday night. Magnolia obviously on the bye.
Over in the AISA, we'll jump to Alabama. So Blake, if you want to get ready for ACSC, I'll run through AISA. I don't know why I struggled there. Number 24, Escambia Academy, 34 nothing over Coosa Valley. Escambia is 5-0. Springwood School 55-18 over Heritage Christian. Heritage looking for their first win. Macon East 48-12 over Southern Prep. Macon East number 17 on the ranking last week. Snook 60-6 over North River, and Evangel Christian Montgomery at Trinity Christian. Trinity gets the win there, 31-22, puts them at 500. And then number 3, Cornerstone Columbiana. Number 8, Cornerstone Columbiana on a bye this past week. So a little bit of rest for the 3-time defending champs.
James, Do you remember when Evangel Christian Montgomery was playing for a CFA championship? Because
I,
Pepperidge Farms remembers.
that was actually the first year we did the CFA championship
Yeah,
in 2021. Yeah,
yeah. So that I would have been a senior.
you
I
were a
think that was my
senior
senior
that
year.
year. That
Yeah.
was your senior year.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We
So
went down there and got to know the folks at Tuscaloosa Christian who host the championship for CFA, and um, I think Russell ran away with that one. There's been a couple close ones, but Russell
yeah,
dominated that one. Um,
yeah. No, absolutely.
but uh, but yeah, I mean it was a minute. It was a minute ago.
Yeah, about a minute ago. So let's see. Over on the ACSC side, you got Evangel Christian. They get their second win, 38-0 over Ezekiel. Ezekiel falls to 1-4. Evangel advances 2-3 on a Friday night. Um, East Central 40-30 over the Warriors on the road. The Warriors of Lighthouse they fall to 2-2, and East Central just over 500, 3-2 record for them. And this one right here, Southern Christian versus Freedom. This one had a lot of writing on it. I
Yep.
think I ran the calculation. I'm not going to give anything away, but potential ranking movement on both sides uh, of the ball right there. And What a great game. What a great broadcast right there, courtesy of Southern Christian,
That was a
the Patriots. Yeah, that was a great game,
that
James.
was a fun one over on 8 Man Extreme Alabama, and
Yeah.
shout out to the guys that did it, Sean and them. First time ever that I had seen a game be won on an extra point in overtime.
Yeah.
It's a
And
brand new one, but both teams deserve to win that game.
and James, first time ever. This is the first time ever both teams have played. I bet you didn't know that.
No, they've played before. No way.
Max Preps didn't say so.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Hold on. There's no way.
No,
Um,
I was thinking the same thing.
there's that. Hang on. There's no way. I got one backdoor place to look. Okay. Freedom. I could have sworn they've played before. That's crazy.
I know. I was shocked too.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What a first game of the series, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you kick off. That's how you kick off a series.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game was incredible. And huge shout out to Southern 6-0. The East Central Lighthouse got to watch that one too on 8 Man Extreme Alabama. That one was a good one too. That was back and forth. East Central pulled away there in the fourth quarter near the end. But that was a great game as well. It's a lot of fun. I mean, you got to watch the entire conference. Probably the first conference where you could watch every game involving a team in their conference.
That's
So that
awesome.
was pretty cool. Let's jump to ACAA, CFA West. Um, and then Blake, if you want to get ready for GIAA.
Yeah.
So Russell Christian 38-0 over Tuscaloosa Christian, who's looking for their first win, as well as Tabernacle. They're looking for their first win. They were at Cornerstone and Cornerstone Rainsville. Cornerstone 54-32 over Tabernacle. Victory Christian, they were at Jacksonville Christian, and Jacksonville Christian 46-8 over Victory. Jacksonville now at 4-0. Victory looking for their first win. So 3 CFA teams that have not played, all looking for their first win. So somebody Blake is going to be winless. Somebody's going to get their first win, maybe even their second win. Or they could all 3 just beat each other in a round robin situation.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Um,
So that's CFA. And then now let's jump over to Georgia.
all right. So sorry, I had to read the text message I got.
No, you're
So
good. You're
looks
good.
like Westminster of Augusta 63-6 over Holy Spirit Prep, who falls victim to 0-6, unfortunately. If they win 6 straight, they might go to a bowl game. Nothing's outside the realm of possibility.
Right.
They'll fall at 6-6 and be bowl eligible. Kidding. Um,
In an alternate
Westminster
universe.
4-1. Yeah, in an alternate universe. Yeah. Um, Citizens Christian, they take care of Fullington Academy. 34-28. Citizens 4-2. Fullington 33, or not 33. 3-3, excuse
3-3.
me.
There you go.
John Hancock Academy, they also fall victim to 0-6, putting up 12 against Covington, or not Covington, Covenant Academy's 38. I need to get my eyes checked because, wow. Um, Covenant's 3-3, not 33. Let's see over here. Vidalia, 17 ranked. Vidalia Heritage put up 59 on the Baker County Bears. Um, Vidalia moves to 4-1, while Baker County falls to 2-3. Community Christian, Monsignor Donovan just dominates this one with an 80-0
I saw
score
that.
from
That
that
was
game.
wild.
Yeah, cool. You gotta wonder how many points were scored in each quarter. I don't know if it's available on Max Preps or not, but
Let me see while
anyway.
you're going. Let me look and see if we got a
Okay.
breakdown.
Okay. Anyway, School for Innovation and Classics out of Georgia. Big shocker right here. They beat the unbeaten Westminster Christian in a rematch, 38-12. Westminster falls to 5-1, 4-2 for the Patriots.
Huge
Grace
upset there.
Christian, Grace Christian 0-4 as they travel to Georgia Christian. Cannot get the job done. 6-37 in favor of Georgia Christian. Georgia Christian now at 5-1. Sherwood Christian, the number 20th ranked team, um, undefeated on the year. David Emmanuel, they dropped a game to Vidalia Heritage, I believe. Um, and let me check and make sure that information's correct. Yes, they did. They dropped a game to Vidalia Heritage and were barely scraping outside the top 25. Not anymore after Friday night. Sherwood dominates that game. And speaking of dominate, Westwood dominates Christian Academy. Christian Academy still searching for an answer to their first win. 0-40, 0-6 as Westwood advances to 5-1 on the year. 47-0 to score that game.
Lot of winless teams still out there.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to get their first win. Somebody's going to do it. Let's jump down to Florida. Um, one game last night. Florida School for the Deaf and Blind hosting California School for the Deaf Riverside. Uh, Coming all the way from Cali. Um, and it wasn't a very successful business trip. Florida School for the Deaf, 32-14 over California. I think they had a documentary made or story made about them. You know what I'm talking about, Blake? The CSD Riverside.
I feel like I know what you're saying.
I,
I
I,
feel
I
like yeah.
a couple years ago they came out with that. I'll have to try to find it. A whole lot of games on Friday night, so let's run through them. Bradenton Christian 20-6 over Countryside Christian. Bradenton unbeaten at 4-0. Countryside looking for their first win. Shorecrest 52-22 over Lake Mary Prep. Shorecrest is unbeaten. Real Life Christian number 4 on the ranking, 50-0 over St. John Lutheran. SJL looking for their first win. Eastland Christian 40-2 over Oasis Christian. For St. Francis Catholic 36-0 over Gainesville Community. Tampa Slam 52-0 over City of Life. Lakeside Christian, this was a Thursday night game. Lakeside Christian over Geneva Classical 45-38. Liberty Christian 38-6 over Cornerstone. Blake, if you want to get Skisa lined up, I forgot to say that.
Yeah.
Liberty Christian over Cornerstone 38-6. Cornerstone looking for their first win. Foundation Christian, number 22 on the ranking. They went to Academy at the Lakes, and Academy at the Lakes got the win, 18-12 on Thursday night.
James, I
Here
believe that's the first ranked upset.
it was, it
Yeah.
was. Um, Speaking of upsets, here was a big one. Merritt Island Christian was 4-0 when they hosted Donahue Catholic Friday night. Donahue coming in at 3-1. Donahue gets the win, 26-20. I was Merritt Island. Huge shout out to them. They had updates tweeted out, and Donahue jumped ahead, and it was back and forth. Merritt Island would catch up. Donahue would pull away, back and forth, and Donahue Catholic gets the win, 26-20. Merritt Island takes their first loss of the year. Four Corners, 36-0 over Calvary Chapel. Ocala Christian, 38-22 over First Coast Christian. And then a whole slew of teams on bye. Hernando Christian, Riverview, number 16 All Saints, Bell Creek Academy, First Academy of Leesburg, and the Classical Academy of Sarasota, all on a bye in the Double S Double A.
All right.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. So let's see here. All right, starting off Friday night, Holly Hill, they take care of JDA. Correct me if I'm wrong. JDA was the runner-up in state last year, right?
No, the championship was. I think the championship was Holly Hill and Richard Wynn. I'll double check
Okay,
that.
okay, okay. Well, anyway,
I know.
JDA.
I know. 2 years ago, they were in it.
Okay, okay. I might be mistaken then, but 28-6 score that game. Number 14, Holly Hill, they take care of business. Um, Cathedral Academy. They traveled to Kings plural Academy. Um, and they fall just short 16 and 26 in that game. Cross, they're looking for their first win versus a Palmetto Christian team who was also looking for their first win. Palmetto
What you
wanted it more.
what did you just call him? Palmetto?
I said Palmetto. Is
Palmetto.
that not how you pronounce it?
No, Palmetto.
Oh, Palmetto. Oh, sorry. I've
Ah,
actually never been to South Carolina, James. So
really?
yeah, I've been to every state in the South except South Carolina. So
Really? I'm surprised
mm-hmm.
by that. Never went to Myrtle Beach?
Nope.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
I've always wanted to go. Yeah.
I think the last
Well, I
time I think the last time I was in South Carolina was it was 2021 or 2022. We went and did the SIFA championship. I want to say it was 2021. We went and did the SIFA championship, and it was right over the border from Georgia. It was Greenville Hurricanes right before they went to 11 man, and they beat Pack in the championship, and it was right before Greenville. But it was like the field was like right over the right over the border. Like I think we actually stayed on the Georgia side and then
wow.
drove across the bridge. It might not even been a bridge, but yeah, I mean it's like right across the border. Anyways,
Yeah. I don't know if you want to count this, but my mom found out, she was pregnant with me when uh they were in South Carolina. I don't know if you want to count that, but
that counts.
that counts.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that
I
counts.
guess I guess I have been.
There you go. Yeah,
Um,
you go across the Savannah River and
okay,
cross into. That's when you cross into uh, South Carolina. North Augusta is in South Carolina, and then Augusta is in Georgia.
okay. All right,
Anyways,
moving on.
anyways,
Um, Wardlaw, they fall just short to the reigning state champions who are trying to find their footings themselves. Richard Wynn, 35-34 over Wardlaw. And this one was a big one. Battle of the Undefeateds. Lawrence Academy, they travel to King Academy out of Batesburg. They fall just short. 34-6 to 60. King Academy 5-0 on the year where Lawrence is 4-1.
King, somebody that came out of nowhere. Let me double check their record. Their record last year. By the way, JDA 2023 Skisa champ, and then last year they were knocked out of the playoffs.
Mm,
Um, so King Academy last year, I remember seeing them 2-7 last year. What a turnaround, Blake. Two and
yeah,
seven last year, 3-8 the year before that. Let's see, the year before that, 11-2. So 2022 they had a good season, where they got knocked out of the playoffs by Holly Hill. But then the last 2 years, quite a bit of struggles for W King Academy. Let's jump over to SIFA and the CFA. Blake, if you want to get ready for NCISAA,
yeah, I got you.
sounds like the TV show. Um, GSIC, we talked about GSIC at Westminster. GSIC 66-25 win there. Augusta hosting the Coastal Hurricanes, which somehow their schedule is crazy. This was only their second game of the year. A lot of cancellations on them, teams
Yeah,
forfeiting and not able to play. Only their second game, and it was a good one. Augusta
yeah.
wins 42-28, but at one point I want to say it was tied at 28. You could watch. I was watching the game on.
I feel like Coastal was leading at one point.
I
Like,
think they were.
yeah,
That you were. I was watching it on 8 Man Extreme Georgia. Um, but yeah, a great game. Augusta able to pull away there at the end. Pack Panthers in an 11-man game with the Greenville Hurricanes, 27-6. Hurricanes won that one, 11-man matchup, and Pack takes their second loss of the year rather, ranked at number 2 last week. CFA, we talked about Monsignor Donovan Catholic, 80-0 over Community Christian, and then a little in-conference battle. Orangeburg Christian 56-34 over Victory, who also somehow that was only their second game. I feel like Victory and Coastal should like set up like a 3 game series between each other, and like home, away, and then find a neutral site.
Yeah, because they're
Just
having a hard time finding games,
yeah,
right?
like both of them
Yeah.
should just I know Victory. I think Victory backed out of a game or last week maybe. Yeah, because they had to, or
Well, I
not last
know.
week, but the week before because they were going to play Pack, and then
Well, I
and then
know
it
there
didn't
was
work out.
they were supposed to play Orangeburg, but there was some weather issue. I don't know if it's I know it's hurricane season, but I don't know on that side of the
Yeah, I see what you did
coast
there.
if it
It's
is or not. But
hurricane season.
that was okay. That was not intentional. No, 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 no.
Oh, so anyways,
Gosh.
that's SIFA and CFA East. Blake, what you got for North Carolina?
Yeah, absolutely. So the number one ranked Cary Christian, believe they're the Knights out of Cary, North Carolina.
Yep, yep.
They ca- they take care of business 52-6 over Wake Christian. Um, they chug along. Lawrence Academy, they play Columbia 62-34 score that game. Wayne Prep, they travel to Pungo Christian 53-12 in favor of Pungo. Pungo 4-1 on the year. St. David's, they travel to number 23 ranked John Paul II and get crushed 8-60 in favor of John Paul. John Paul 5-0. They join elite company with Carey and Arendelle Parrott for being in the 5-0 club in North Carolina. Couple teams on bye for this week. Northeast Academy, I believe they had a game cancellation. I'm really not sure what's going on with their schedule.
Yeah, I'm not either.
0-2 on the year. They're on a bye. 13th ranked Faith, 4-1 on the year. They're on a bye, and the number 15 in the rankings, number 5, Arendelle Parrott Academy. Um, big game coming up next week. We'll talk about that later, but about does it for North Carolina. Do you want me to go ahead and do a Christian
Go
conference,
for it.
Christian
Yep,
Independent?
go for it.
Okay, I'm rolling. All right. Father Capodanno, 2-3 on the year. They travel to Community Christian into your hometown,
Yep, yep.
26-32 in favor of Community Christian. Tornadoes. Berean Baptist. I said that right, correct?
Yep, yep. Berean.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Good. Okay. Still searching for their first win. They fall to the 12th ranked 5-1 Sandhills Classical Christian team, 32-8 on Friday. Liberty Christian, they take care of business on the road versus a 1-4 Lee Christian team. Liberty Christian 3-2 with a 55-6 win over the Eagles. So,
Quick shout out to the unbeaten teams so far. Um, Specifically the ones that have played. I'll say 4, 5, and 6. There's a lot of teams that have played 4 games. So you know what? I'm going to make it more exclusive. We're going to get rid of 4 teams that have played 5 or 6 games and are unbeaten. Um, I don't think that's. Oh no, that's right. That's okay. Well, no, because that was last week. All right, I'll do that here in a second. Um, let's go to Virginia. Let's talk about the Virginia Independent School Football League. And a big shout out to you guys. I'm not going to say who, but we had a person reach out and say, hey, the conference is actually named this. On Max Preps, it says VISAA, um, but it's actually VISFL. So big shout out. Thank you for the update. Blake, you want to get ready for Seek, by the way. I'll
yeah.
run through these. Blessed Sacrament Huguenot. This is a Friday. These are all Friday night. 76-12 over Massanutten Military Academy. Massanutten looking for their first win. Southampton Academy moves to 5-0 with a 66-14 win over Broadwater. Rappahannock County, 32-0. I'm sorry, that's Saturday night. I'll get to that in a second. Kinston Forest gets their first win of the year, 36-0 over Fishburne Military. And then Life Christian gets their first win of the year, 28-21 over Fuqua School. Saturday night, 2 games. Rappahannock County, 32-0 over Quantico High. and Greenbrier Christian 49-0 over Randolph-Macon. And then Brunswick Academy, number 7 on the ranking last week, and Chincoteague, both on a bye week this past weekend. Blake, what you got for Seek?
Yeah, nationally. So Tri Cities, they fall to 24, or not 24. Gosh, I need glasses. 2-4. After a loss to Hurley. I believe that was 11-man game.
It
I'm not
was.
sure.
Yep.
Okay. So 56-48 score of that game. Tri Cities falls. Speaking of falling, Tennessee Heat, they fell victim to Chattanooga. Chattanooga with their first win on the year, 30-26, and score in favor of the Patriots. 1-5 compared to Tennessee Heat's 2-5 for them. We already covered the Southern Christian Freedom game. Great game. If you haven't watched the end, go back and watch it. It was
I
fantastic.
would say from like 5, well, you can't really see the scoreboard. Uh, like the last 20
five
minutes of the
minutes ish.
broadcast. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
hmm
would say would be a good time.
Yeah. And that went in overtime. I don't know if we mentioned that or not, but
Yeah, first time I've ever seen an overtime game get won with an extra point.
yeah. Anyway, Tree Homeschool, they went on the road to Riverside, I believe, and they handled business. 22-8 in favor of the Eagles. Believe Trinity's at a 3-2 record this year, right, James?
I can double check that. Let's see.
No,
I'll
they're
pull
two
that
and
up.
two.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was about to
that's
say I think
correct.
they are 2
Okay,
and 2. Yeah.
okay. And speaking of on the road, the 18th ranked Colts at a community Christian, they fall. Man, wasn't it with Seek and losing to out of conference teams this week, man?
Yeah,
I
rough
think
week.
I think the entire conference lost, James.
Except for Chattanooga.
Except, well,
Out
yeah,
of
yeah.
conference
I guess
games,
you're right.
yes.
Out of
Out of
conference,
conference, the
yeah.
whole conference lost. Yeah.
But man, Christian community ranked off 18. They traveled to Zion. I know that was 11 man. What, did CCS play 11 or did Zion play
No, it was
8? Do
11.
you know? Okay.
It was 11.
Tough. Tough loss right there. 7-0 in favor of Zion. Zion, their first win of the year. And I can do Heartland and AAA to wrap it up real quick.
Why don't you do AAA? I'll run through Heartland real quick because it's
Okay.
one game.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, Abundant Life 52-12 over Arkansas Christian. Southwest Christian on a bye. Those are the 3 teams in Heartland in Arkansas, and then you've got AAA.
Yep. All right. So Woodlawn, they beat Southside B Branch 66-36. So by a solid 30. Woodlawn 3-0 on the year. And Southside's 0-3. A lot of threes
A
to
lot,
deal with that game.
a
A
lot.
lot of threes, a lot of multiples right there. Anyway, Tunica Academy, they lost to Corning 5-2 and to fall to 2-3. I scored 6-58. Corning 5-0 on the year. Watch out, y'all. Watch out. They're about business. Um, the other game I have is Marshall. They get shut out by Subiaco Academy, who's having a really solid year. 40-0. Subiaco moves to 4-1. Marshall, their first loss on the year, sitting at 2-1. And this is a big upset over here. Hermitage, they lose their game 16-38. Hermitage without a win, or excuse me, Dermont without a win. They beat Hermitage to give Dermont or to give Hermitage their first loss.
That was a
16-38,
that
James.
was a
That
huge
was a
upset.
it's a big upset.
Um, and then like you mentioned, there's what 2 games? We don't have 3 games. We do not have scores
Yeah.
for. They're still not in max prep. So if the folks in Arkansas could move their time machine to 2025 and could get with the times, that would be fantastic. Um, love you guys. So yeah, so that's all the scores from last week. And I know it took 40 minutes to get through it, or 30 minutes, but we did it. There's 17 conferences, Blake. It's a
Yeah.
lot. That's a lot.
A lot of teams too.
Real quick before we talk about the rankings, speaking of the rankings, I want to give a shout out, Blake, to teams that are 5, 6, and well, there's no 6-0, but teams that are 5-0, and then there's one 7-0 team, JPG. I take that back. There is one 6-0 team, Southern Christian. But the teams
Yeah.
that are rolling this season so far, um, so JPG is 7-0, Southern Christian is 6-0, and then you have Cary Christian, Humphreys Academy, Arundel Parrott, Holly Hill, Sherwood Christian, JP2, Prairie View, Claiborne, King Academy, Escambia Academy, Subiaco Academy, Southampton Academy, Columbus Christian Academy, and Corning High School, all 5-0 so far this year. The interesting thing, Blake, is Cary, Arundel, and JP2 all still have to play each other.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Prairie View and Claiborne have to play each other, and River Oaks as well, but they're 4-0. Um,
Southampton and Brunswick.
Southampton and Brunswick still have to play,
Yeah.
which Brunswick is 4-0. So they haven't hit 5 yet. And then I think Humphreys. I
No,
don't
they
think
don't play
they don't
Columbus
play.
Christian.
Yeah, or Prairie View or Claiborne. I don't think so. There's a chance they could roll into the playoffs unbeaten. So
Yeah.
huge shout out to
Mm.
all these teams so far in their about halfway through their seasons, just rolling. In terms of the teams that are 5-0, you know what? I didn't realize this. Cary and Humphreys actually have the same points scored,
Wow.
222.
Yeah.
Now the most out of the 5-win teams is let's see, Sherwood Christian. 302 points scored so far, but I'm very impressed with the points against. Let me see. There's some. I'm trying to see which one is the lowest. I think it would be Subiaco Academy.
Hang on. Hang on. What's this? There you go.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go.
Subiaco Academy. Yep.
Subiaco Academy. They are. There's no way that's right.
I believe it is.
Are they
Hang
5-0
on.
or 4-0? I thought they were 4-0.
Subiaco's 5-0.
Okay, so Subiaco 5-0, and they have allowed 6 points in 5 games. So they have 4 shutouts. There's no way that's right.
I feel like that. I feel like that's right.
There's no way.
Yeah.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
crazy stat. Hang on. We're
That.
gonna
Yeah, they're challenging all Saints right now for.
imagine the
Yeah. No,
game.
that's correct.
Oh, okay. Hang on. 2 of the games were forfeits.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um.
so 3 on the field game. Now they've shut out the last 2 teams. Okay, so that makes sense. So 3 games played on the field. They gave up a touchdown to Arkansas Christian, which was probably near the end of the game, if I had to guess.
Yep.
No, it was in the third quarter because I pulled up the box score for that game. But so on the field results, Subiaco 3-0, 5-0 overall. So the next lowest is Escambia Academy with 24 points allowed in 5 games. Average of 5 points a game. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now you do have Columbus Christian, who's 5-0. They have allowed the most points at 130. So there's the range, Blake.
Yeah.
In terms of teams that are 5-0, you've got one that's allowed 24 points, one is allowed 134. And the one that's allowed
Golly.
100, and
Yeah.
then the one that's allowed 134, Columbus Christian, they've only scored 44 more points than Subiaco. So pretty crazy
Yeah. Hang on. Let me
stat
let me
line.
look at breaking the fourth wall here. Compared to, oh my gosh, Arco compared to all Saints Academy is better, like defensive wise. Oh my gosh.
Let me see.
Wow. 1.2 versus 1.5. Like we're talking literal like
Yeah, but okay, hang on a second. Two of the quote unquote wins were forfeits. So really Subiaco's like 3-0. I don't think we can count those 2 forfeits in this exercise.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
so
So,
so All Saints still has the defensive title, I think.
yeah, yeah, and they'll probably, I don't know. They play Hernando Christian
Who can put
um
up some points.
next week. Yeah, who can put up some points?
So there you go. Um all right. So super sidetrack there. All right. So let's do this, Blake. Let's go through the um
Hang on, I will fix this real quick. Sorry, not to break the
you're good.
eighth
You're
wall or
good.
anything.
Let's
There
go
we go.
through the background and bylaws, and I don't want to read through the entire thing, but just to summarize, the main purpose for this is to give accurate rankings, and we want to grow the game of eight-man football. We want to use these rankings that are based on the field results, and we want to give a spotlight to programs who again, part of our big thing is always always trying to put a spotlight on the game, put a spotlight on these teams and these players. And this is just for us, this is just another way to be able to do that. This is something that we can do that wasn't around when we played. And
Yeah,
and you know what, Blake, too, what was cool too is to hear from all the ex players last week when the rankings came out, just saying, "Hey, this was cool. You know, wish this was around when we played." Just
yeah,
that whole side of that's cool. So, but that's kind of the purpose, and the goal is just to rank these teams with no bias, no hidden influence. We're going to cover, I think it's a 16. We're covering 17 conferences. Conferences, leagues, and associations, and there's some independents. Blake, I think we're at this week's rankings was 180 teams.
yeah, and it's going to keep growing because more teams are going to hit quorum, so to speak, and yeah, I don't know how many total are on the spreadsheet. Hang on, hang on, let me
But
so we
basically,
can get a final number.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
the I was just gonna say, so the ranking it's a lot like the old BCS system that
Yeah,
college used to have. The difference is they actually declared number one the national champion. We're not trying to
no,
declare anybody any champion. We just want to give uh,
credit where credit's due.
credit where credit's due.
Yeah,
Right. I'm not. We're not creating a trophy. We're not going to have a champion. It's just to help people keep up with how teams are doing. So that's the biggest goal is to rank these teams the best way we can with no bias. Um,
yeah, and James, I just kind of want to say like this is this is something we were talking about. Is like okay, there's a lot of bias, and I'm a big believer. If I don't see it, I'm not out of sight, out of mind,
right. Right.
right? Dude, like people in Florida are talking about um people in Florida are talking about real life right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if everybody's making a poll, people in Florida are not talking about Brunswick.
Right. Right.
People in Virginia are not talking about Cornerstone.
Well, and I'll even go
People in
as
Tennessee are
far.
not talking about John Paul. Like,
Well,
it's a out of sight, out of mind kind of thing.
yeah, and I'll even go as far, and I love Florida. I just talked to Mike last week, and I told him, feel free to use the rankings. The rankings that NHFA always puts out, um, at least in the past, they haven't put it out this year yet, but it only ranks teams that are going that could go to Florida.
Yeah,
This is just trying to get everybody ranked. So it's
this
not
is
this isn't
everybody.
competing with anybody. This isn't us saying that ours is better. This is just, hey, how can we put everybody on a level playing field? And sometimes it's tough, but I think what we've got is the best way to do that, and it gets people talking. A lot. There's a lot of these teams, a lot of people never heard of, didn't even know they
Yeah,
existed, and now all of a sudden it's, oh, cool. There's a team there, and this is how they're doing. So that was pretty cool. Um,
yeah. James, do you want me to like explain more about like, how the rankings are determined when
Yeah,
we
I
get
was gonna.
there?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
okay.
get you to
Okay.
talk through. I was gonna get you to talk through, kind of how it works and the nuts and bolts of it. Obviously, people can
Yeah.
can find the link for it. Um, in the link in our bio, we have the whole layout. So if you want to follow along or if you want to look at it, but Blake, let's give them the what's the word? What am I looking for? Let's give them
The 401.
the 401 on it. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So let's talk about how this works. What is it? What does it do? All right. So pretty much what I did, I started over the summer. I said I think it'd be really cool if I could input scores and just spits out, a ranking or a number, and then I the higher the number, the higher the rank, right? And what I decided to do is I had too much time on my hands, and I made an Excel spreadsheet with all the teams, all the conferences that I could get my hands on with the information that I had. And I created a formula that valued wins. It valued, your strength of schedule, all that. There's a lot of variable factors, but pretty much if you win good and if you win long enough, you'll be ranked pretty high. And if you beat a good team, it's going to reflect that. Um, and so how it works is I have a formula. I'm not going to reveal the formula. Um,
It's top
just
secret.
because, well, I just don't want any like, foul play or
Right.
anything just because
Right.
of O
Right.
ranking, and like this is something I kind of did.
Completely
Um,
fair. Completely fair.
yeah. Um, but I will say this master schedule, I cannot get it out. It's pretty cool. I think it changed the game a lot in a good way, but I could not get it out this season. Just issues with Excel, but I'm going to make a version for Google Sheets next season. All right, cool. Now that we're on to that, so whenever I put in these scores, um, it automatically calculates each team's Z score based on value factors. And I'll get in that too a second. The max a team can score can have a rating of is 1. And it's on a scale of negative infinity to a 1 point scale. So man, you can be as bad as negative 100, but you can only be as good as 1,
Right.
right?
Right.
Um, and it's on like it's on a z like a majority of teams are falling between 0 point whatever number. Rarely does it go to negative unless you're not that good. Um, what's it called? Each value factor is weighted. The weight I'm not going to get into because it's certain percentages, but it's based on wins, losses, points for, points against, offensive rating, which is your average points per game, defensive rating, which is points allowed per game, so another average, point differential, which is capped at a maximum value of 35 points. So you can run up the score. You can beat a team 80-0. I don't care. You can do that all you want. All you're getting out of a win is 35-0.
Right. Right.
I feel like that should be stated. I
Exactly.
don't believe
Exactly.
in running up the score on a team with 9 guys or eight
And I
guys.
think
Like
that
that's
was a
just
big
not.
question
Yeah.
last week. Was a lot of
Hmm.
people were like, "Well, you just did that because they ran up the score." No, you only get 35
Nope.
points.
No. You won't. Hey, if you win 80-0, it's the same as a 35-0 win.
Yep.
It
Exactly.
does not matter. It does not matter at all. Um, Strength of schedule. This one is kind of a heated topic with some people, and it should be said the strength of schedule is based on who you play and at the time of when the game was and when it ended. So, for example, all right, let's take the Black Bear Brawl for example. So Southern Christian, they play the Mississippi Tornadoes, and Southern Christian won that game. So Southern Christian gets the credit for beating a 0-0 team, and Mississippi Tornado gets their due credit for losing to a 1-0 team. That stays. That will stay the rest of the season. And I know there's been a lot of like, uh, things about like, oh, well, we played this team later on. I'm not a, I'm not a big believer in, oh, we beat this team at this point of the year, so we're better than them.
Well, here's the thing about it
Yeah,
is if you play a team and they're 1-1, when you play, let's say the game ends, they're 1-1. They could go 8-1 in a season because after you play them, that next Monday they pick up
they
a
get
five
hot.
star.
Yeah,
Well, they pick up a 5-star running back, and they get hot and they go eight, they go win it and they end up 8-1. They weren't 8-1 when
Yeah.
you beat or
Hmm.
lost them.
Or like
Just like
injuries.
yeah, well
Hmm.
that's the other side. So let's say
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
play a team, you beat them, now they're 1-1, and then they end up going 1-8. You didn't beat a 1-8 team, you beat a 1-1 team
Yeah.
at the time
Hmm.
you played them.
At the time you played them. Yeah. And something I kind of think is important is like, okay, say, with that 0-1 team and you lose to them, that's a 1-1 team you lost to. And then say that team, gets hot and they run with it. That's eight, you're not going to take credit for 8-1 team because you didn't lose to an 8-1 team.
Right,
So
right.
that's your strength of schedule. You lost to a team that was 1-1 at the time of the game. Now, on the other side, okay, say this. Say you roll into town 3-0 versus a 3-0 team, and you beat that team. Therefore, that team's 3-1. Let's say that team that was 3-0 after the game, 3-1, and then everybody gets hurt and they lose the rest of the games this year, right?
Yeah,
It, you wouldn't take credit. Like no team would take credit for beating a 3-6 team. They'd say, "Oh, I beat an undefeated team at the time."
right, right, right.
That's something. That's how it is. And that plays a lot into strength of schedule. Because if we weren't doing that, that would be a lot of input and maintenance on my side. And I don't want to seem lazy or anything, but that's also, that's also just football.
Right, right.
You beat a 3-0 team, you're going to take credit for it. Doesn't matter if they, yeah, anyway.
Doesn't matter if they go three and
Moving,
seven. It doesn't matter.
right, yeah. Anyway, um, yeah, the same way Tennessee's going to, you know, take a loss to a 5-0 team this Saturday. Anyway,
Okay.
we'll
All right.
see.
All
We'll
right.
see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see.
We'll see.
All right, moving on. So quality wins. This is pretty black and blue. If you beat a team that's above 500, right? So if you beat a 3-2 team, or excuse me, 3-1 team,
Right.
3-2, that's a quality win, right?
Right.
Top 25 wins. You beat a team inside the top 25. Pretty simple. All right, here's something that's pretty interesting. So there's adjustment clause. I'm not going to reveal the actual calculation for the adjustment clause, but it's based on last week's ranking, right?
Yep.
And so I'll put a number in, um, and it'll be last week's ranking for a team. And this basically prevents teams from like dropping from 1 to 55. That's just not realistic. Um,
Right. Right.
and it essentially adds like a little boost to their score, but only if they lose.
Right.
Um, and it's basically like a protection thing because dude, like if Southern, I'm trying to think, if Humphreys and Carey played and I didn't have the adjustment clause in, say Carey won, they would drop outside outside of the top 40.
Humphreys
It's
would.
just
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, it's just simple as that. Or the losing team would. It's just the way the math works. I feel like I've explained that plenty.
The math
Head to
is
head
mathing.
override. Yeah, the math is mathing. Head to head override. Um, so this is pretty simple. If they fall within, 0.1, I'm gonna call it 1,000. If they fall within 1,000, uh, then I'll pick the team. If those two teams played each other, I'll pick the team that beat the other team I value head to head. Um, yeah, that's pretty. Rankings are going to be posted as soon as possible. Forfeits. Okay, so this is something I'm going to say because this kind of made me laugh last week when I saw this. Jamboree results do not count towards a team's record. If it was a jamboree, I'm not counting that as a win. I don't care. I don't care if you beat them in a jamboree. All right.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Four. Yeah, I don't care. No one cares. Why? No one cares. Anyway, forfeits will be counted 35 win or loss, 35-0 win or loss. There's a lot more on here.
Highly
I could
encourage y'all to
go
go
over.
read this.
Yeah, I would encourage y'all to go read this, but
It's good.
James, do you want me to talk about the freeze?
It's good bathroom reading.
Yeah, it's great bathroom reading. But
Yeah, let's
what
go. Let's
one
go
thing,
through. Sorry, go ahead.
I, James, me personally, I feel like we should give a big shout out to last team's rankings, and um, because I don't know if we went through and read all those yet, or if they
Yeah,
got
we
like
can.
an official.
Yeah, we can. We
Okay,
can. We can roll through them. Why don't you do the freeze clause,
okay, yeah,
and recap that, and then I do have one other thing I want to touch on before we start
yeah,
talking through the top. Before we read off the top 25.
okay. So the freeze clause. So this is pretty much like it doesn't matter if another team leapfrogs you or not. If you're on a bye, and you're inside the top 25, assuming you meet the minimum number of games played to qualify for a ranking, you won't move up or down. Um, so you'll essentially be frozen in place. You can't be punished. You can't be rewarded for taking a bye. I feel like that's pretty simple.
Right.
Yeah,
And it
James, what
also
do you
and it
got?
also and it also counts with cancellations too. If you get a
Yeah,
game canceled on you and you don't pull and not forfeited, if a game
but
gets
canceled.
canceled, right, and it becomes a bye week that you didn't mean to have, same deal. So you're not going to get
Yeah,
punished because uh, you can't get punished because Christian
you
Academy down
didn't
the
play a
road
game. Yeah,
didn't have enough players. Okay.
yeah.
One thing I do want to go through that I don't think we put on here. Um, a lot of people were asking about certain teams being undefeated and not being higher in the ranking. There were several teams. Um, so when we started tracking the games week one, we had to have somewhere some kind of a starting point, right?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
Blake, we went through. We took the champions from last year, and this is the only time that last year's results mattered. We took the champions from last year, and we took the runners up, and I think we took River Oaks, who was an independent, and we created a top 35 ranking. And then week one, scores came in, we plugged it in. And so we've been going since week one in terms of adding scores and seeing how everybody lines up. Didn't want to make it public until almost everybody had played 3 games. I think there were only like 20 teams maybe that hadn't played 3 games out of 180. Um, I'll give an example. So South Haven Christian only has one loss. They're 5-1.
Yeah.
They're five and
Hmm.
one. So the question is, okay, well, Pack Panther, they lost to Pack Panthers by 2 points. Pack's number 2. Why isn't South Haven closer to Pack? We only rank the champions and the runners up. So if you were a team like South Haven who didn't make the playoffs or made the playoffs last year, didn't make the championship, if we would have ranked all the way down to 160, which maybe we should have, but we didn't. If we would have ranked all the way down to 160, 170, whatever, South Haven probably, correct me if I'm wrong, Blake, South Haven probably would have ended up at like number 50, I would say. Probably around number 50.
Yeah.
Maybe 45. Let's say 45 for argument's sake. So that means over the course of week 1 to week 6, they climbed from 45 to 15 as they picked up wins,
Yeah.
which is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, which kind of shows like, okay, the people who were the results we got up until that point, until we released the rankings, were raw. Like
Right.
there was no
Right.
adjustment clause. There was nothing. It was raw.
So like River Oaks, we had them. I want to say they were at 35 because we did champs and runners up. So River Oaks was at 35, so they climbed
Yeah.
to number 25. Escambia, who was number 24 last week, came from 11 man. We had no idea what to expect with
What to
Escambia.
do with them? Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So they would have started way further down the rankings than South Haven would. Matter of fact, if we took their 11-man ranking into account, they would have been so low, not even funny. So some of these
Yeah.
teams that, JP2 is the same way. JP2, yes, they were the runner-up in their championship. So they were anywhere from 18 to 34. And yes, they won some games. They didn't have as many quality wins, and so they climbed a little bit slower. So that's why they were only at 17 last week, 18 maybe. No, not even that. I think I have it 23. So that addresses the number 23, 24, 25 teams as well as South Haven at 15. So that's kind of an explanation as to how the ranking last week, how we got there, right?
Yeah.
And we have the new ranking. Um, there's a lot of movement. You guys will see it first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
hopefully, when we put the graphic out and the full rankings. But there's a lot of movement based off the games this last week. There were a lot of unbeaten teams took their first loss. There were some really good matchups, and there was some movement. So it's living, it's breathing. And Blake, I'm gonna give you your flowers, dude. You built something here. You put in a lot
Thank
of
you,
time.
James.
You built it. I have the small part of plugging scores in. That's it. So I'm gonna give you flowers because you created something nobody else had ever done before in
Yeah.
doing this, and we're still tweaking it. And
Yeah.
but it works and it's breathing and it's living. So I'm gonna give you your flowers.
Yeah.
You're gonna take them and you're just gonna leave it at that. All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, James.
All right.
There's one thing I want to say real
Go
quick,
for
and
it.
I just want to shout out everyone who is a member, of the inaugural this, right? The inaugural release of this.
Yeah.
Um, I just want to say, first off, congratulations, Gary Christian. You join absolutely elite territory. You're the first ever number one in this poll.
First
James,
ever.
I'm a test your ball knowledge.
Go for it.
Who was the first ever team to be ranked one in the college football playoff poll?
Oh gosh.
Don't look it up. Don't look it
I'm
up.
not looking it up. I'm not looking it
Okay.
up. I promise.
Okay.
Well, I know it wasn't Tennessee. I know it wasn't Mississippi State. Um, I'm gonna have to go. Give me the year. What was it? 2014.
2014. 2014
Okay. I'm gonna throw a wild guess out there. I'm gonna say Oregon.
is Mississippi State.
No way.
Yep. Yeah, they join an elite ball group. Kerry Christian does. Debuting at number one.
All
So,
right.
Kerry Christian, you're learning from the best. 5-0. State's gonna be 5-0, and State's gonna be number one next week. Kerry Christian, maybe number one next week. I don't know. They'll be ranked number one longer than Tennessee has in the CFB poll. So,
Oh
yeah,
gosh.
congratulations, Gary Christian. Moving on, Humphreys, number two, solid. They've got some solid wins so far.
Hey, Blake.
Yeah. Or no,
We're
not
go-
Humphreys. I'm sorry, Pack.
I was about to say you're
Um,
going through.
yeah,
We're going through last week's.
yeah. So no. Sorry, I misread again. Again,
You're
I
good.
need
You're good.
glasses. Humphreys, they got a ranked win. Pack, this is last week's. They were sitting at two. Humphreys at three. Sorry, I
You're good.
misread.
You're
Real
good.
life at four. Arundel at five. Brunswick at six. Southern at seven. Cornerstone at eight. JPG out of Louisiana at nine. Vidalia Heritage at 10. Westwood at 11. Sand Hills 12. Faith 13. Holly Hill 14. South Haven, All Saints, Macon East, Christian Community at 18. Claiborne Academy at 19. Sherwood, Columbus Foundation, John Paul, Escambia, and River Oaks round out the top 25. So shout out those teams for making history, honestly, James.
Two John Pauls in the top
Yeah,
25.
two John
Uh,
Pauls.
and top 10. How about this? North Carolina has two in the top 10. Alabama has two in the top 10. Top 25. I want to say Alabama has two, three in the top 25. I think North Carolina takes the cake, though, in terms of most teams in the top 25, with Carey, Arundel, Faith, and JP2. Oh, and Sandhills, so five. So North Carolina takes the cake. Shout out North Carolina.
Yeah.
Got some ball out there. Now a lot of these teams have to play each other, so it's going to change.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they're just
um,
gonna eat each other alive.
yeah, yeah, no doubt. Um, I think Virginia one had one team in the top 25, Brunswick. Tennessee had two. Mississippi was pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh, two teams in the top 25. I don't. I think Arkansas is the only state that doesn't have a team in the top 25
Yet.
yet. Yet,
Yet.
correct.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yet. So yeah. So um, yeah, it's crazy. I'm on Instagram to look at it, and I just scrolled down, looked at all the interactions. 190 on Instagram, 197 likes, 8 comments, 28 reposts, 87 shares, and total views, 14,461. Now here's the number. Here's the number that gets me. 74% of those views were from non-followers. So what are you guys doing? Go follow. Go check it out. Um, there you go. All right, Blake. Let's run through the scoreboard for this upcoming week. Um, and we'll start. Let's go ahead and start in Georgia. Why not? Let's just be random. So I'll go through GIAA, and then Blake, if you want to go through, why don't you do MAIS? We'll kind of bounce around on the scoreboard a little
Yeah.
bit if you don't care,
Hmm.
just to
Yeah.
kind of keep it fresh. All right, so GIAA, all these games are Saturday night games, or I'm sorry, Friday night games rather. Westminster Schools of Augusta, they're hosting John Hancock, who's looking for their first win of the year. As is Holy Spirit Prep. They are hosting Monsignor Donovan Catholic. Holy Spirit looking for their first win of the year. As is St. Mary's Academy, who is hosting Citizens Christian. So several zero win teams. David Emmanuel is at Fullington Academy. This is a big one there in the GIAA. Crisp and Grace, both winless. Somebody is getting that first win Friday night between Crisp and Grace. Number 14, Vidalia Heritage. They are at number 23, Westwood School. Covenant Academy, they're at Westminster Christian, who's 5 and oh no, wait, nope. Those two teams are on byes. Covenant and Westminster are on a bye. And then here's a big one, Blake. Number 11, Sherwood, 5 and 0. They are at Georgia Christian, who's 5 and 1. That's a huge game in the GIAA.
Yeah, absolutely. James, hang on. I'm gonna send you something real quick.
Yeah,
Just check your phone.
gotcha.
But yeah, no, that's gonna be a huge game. 5-0 versus 5-1. Um that'll be a huge game right there, for both teams. That'll be a really good quality win for both. Both very deserved. Uh, I think they're in the same district, James. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Who's that?
Sherwood and Georgia Christian. Yep, they're in the same
Yeah,
region.
they are.
So big regional matchup right there. So okay, I'll go ahead and do MAI. Sorry, I just blanked right there.
Here, I,
So
I just
okay,
I just sent you something back.
okay,
Let me see if you catch my drift.
okay, okay,
I don't think the numbers are, yeah, it's not that high.
okay, okay.
So
All right,
let's do that. Let's just
all right.
little
A
Easter
little
egg.
tease,
Little
a little
Easter egg.
okay.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
little
yeah.
Easter egg. All
All
right,
right.
elite reference. Okay. So let's
Getting on the same page here, live on air.
yeah.
And
All right, all
how
right.
many hours away? You're in Starkville, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so how many hours? Let's see how far
5 hours from Nashville.
well, I'm saying for me, which I'm
Oh,
north of Nashville. So, okay, so still 5 hours.
yeah,
So we're 5 hours away over the phone, live on air, coordinating. Great,
yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
So
Coordinated. Yep.
yeah, so you see where I'm going, what I'm getting at.
Yeah, no,
Okay, cool.
absolutely.
Let's do it.
Great. So Benton Academy, they travel to Tunica. Silver Bay, they're on the road at number 24 River Oaks. Um, 4-0. River Oaks looking to stay alive in the undefeated conversation. Ben's Ford. They're on the road to a struggling Heritage Christian. They go to Picayune, Mississippi. North Sunflower versus Hillcrest. That game's hosted by North Sunflower. Um, a team that just so happens to be ranked 18 is facing the reigning state champions. The reigning state champions of Briarfield at 4-1. That's going to be a big game right there, James. 4-1 versus 18, 5-0. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, Hebron, they get the tall task of taking on number two on the road in the Delta, Belzoni. Lee Academy at Deer Creek, Delta Streets at Delta Academy. So a little Delta battle right there. Um, Wilkinson County on the road to Tallulah, Louisiana. Newton County Academy, they travel to Prentice. Marvell travels to Calhoun, Tensas to Riverdale. Claiborne and DeSoto, number 19, Claiborne. That's actually a pretty big matchup right
Yeah,
there.
it is. Yeah, it is.
DeSoto just had their winning streak snapped um, by number two Humphreys, and man, if DeSoto can pick up a ranked win off a 4-hour drive,
That's why I put
or
that
no, no,
in
no,
there.
yeah,
That's why I was putting
hmm
that in there. I was putting the spreadsheet together, and I saw that,
yeah,
and I was like, Louisiana, Arkansas, they're neck. But I wonder, Claiborne is like right on the north border of Louisiana, northwest border of Louisiana and Arkansas, and then DeSoto is on the far east border of Arkansas and Mississippi. So 4 hour
yeah. So
drive for this game.
that's a really far drive for a conference game, man.
That's big. That's big.
Um, Kemper on the road at Columbus, undefeated. Christ Covenant, they're on the road at Porter's Chapel Academy, and I believe that's Vicksburg.
No,
I, I get
those
Vic.
are those are all buys.
Oh, they're on bot. Never mind. Sorry, I did not see that.
You're
So
good. You're good. I
Christ
did it
Covenant,
earlier.
yeah, Christ Covenant at Ridgeland and Porter's Chapel at Vicksburg are both on buys. Franklin Academy and Union Christian both on buys. James.
I'll run through. I'll run through Mid South and ACEL, and then Blake, if you want to do AISA and if you want to do Alabama, I'll run through
Yeah,
Mid South and ACEL real quick because there's not many games there. Um,
gotcha.
so for Mid South Christian Football League, Southeastern Warriors, Sahi Warriors, they're at the Meridian Flyers. Both teams 3-2. Magnolia Wildcats looking for their first win. They're taking on the Faithful Explorers Warriors, I think, or Faithful Explorers. They're 3-1, and then Pine Belt, the Spartans, on a bye. They are 5-2. Blake, they were 0-2. They've won their last five in a row, so they're on a little bit of a tear there in Mississippi. Um, and then in the ACEL, 3 games there, two on Thursday night. Number 9 JPG, they're at First Baptist Christian, and then number 22 Acadiana Christian, 5-1. They are hosting Freedom Life Academy, and then on Saturday night, SWLA is at the Mid-State Homeschool Storm. They're both 4-2, and so that one's a big one there. In the Mid South, and then the ACEL rather, North Shore Vultures and Mount Olive Christian, both on a bye. Blake, what do you got?
Sorry.
You're
Just
good.
had to
You're
take a
good.
swig
You're
of
good.
water real quick. All right, so now about Trinity Christian. They're on the road against 25 Escambia Academy. Escambia Academy looking to keep their undefeated streak alive. Coosa Valley, the cornerstone. Coosa Valley 2-2, tough 2 losses. Later in the season, they face the tall task of a cornerstone team who's not been unproven just yet. 2-time state champions out of Columbiana. This one right here, Southern Prep versus Southern Heritage, or not Southern Heritage. I have a lot of that, but um, Southern Prep versus Heritage Christian. Um, both battles of the unwinning. Both somebody is going to get a win right there. Springwood and Evangel Christian. That game's played in Montgomery. North River and Tabernacle, a little bit of action outside the conference right there. Snoot Christian, they travel 17, making East Academy. Try and make some magic work right there. Let's see, Lighthouse, they're on the road to Evangel Christian. Evangel Christian looking for their, I believe, third win of the year. Um, yeah, third win of the year. And
Yep,
so is
yep, you're right.
Lighthouse. So
You're right.
somebody is going to get their third win, James. Same here with Trinity Homeschool traveling on the road to Montgomery and Ezekiel. American Sports Prep. Uh, believe they have a win, if I'm not mistaken, James.
I don't.
Believe
Who did they
I
beat?
think they beat Ezekiel.
No, I think Ezekiel won that one.
Or okay,
Let me
okay.
here. I'll double check it, but I'm pretty certain Ezekiel. Let me see. I'm actually pulling up their schedule now. Yeah, Ezekiel won that one 40-20. So American Sports Prep 0-4.
Ooh, okay, okay. Good to know. Good
It's
to know.
it's tough too
Americans,
because they haven't made a max preps yet. So whenever someone plays them,
yeah,
it just
that'd
says
be
varsity
nice.
opponent. So yeah, let's American Sports Prep. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, I know they got Wi-Fi in Tuscaloosa. I
Same
know they
thing.
got internet. Yeah.
Same thing.
Hmm.
Same thing with Faithful Explorers out of Mid South
Yeah. What are
Christian
we
Football
doing,
League.
guys?
Can we make a max prep, please?
Jeez.
Please.
Anyway, um, sorry. 6-0 versus 0-4 there. I don't really need to talk about that much more. Um, that's close to Christian. They're on the road to, correct me if I'm wrong, Rainsville, right?
Yep. Yep.
Rainsville looking for their third win. Tuscaloosa looking for their first. North River, I already talked about that one. Jacksonville Christian and Russell Christian rematch of the championship from last year. And Victory Christian out of Mississippi's on a bye. So that is everybody, James, out of Alabama.
That rematch is huge too. Jacksonville and Russell, like you mentioned, rematch of the championship last year. That one's going to be fun. That one's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Southern Prep and Heritage you mentioned too. Somebody's going to get their first win there. Crazy, we're this far in the season, teams are still working on getting that first win. It happens. All right, let's go. Let me go to Florida, and then Blake, I'll get you to do. Let's see, who have we not done? Who have we not done yet? Or why don't you pick one? Why don't you pick one? I'll run through Florida real quick.
I can do, I do North Carolina.
All right, good. I'll read through Florida, then we'll go North Carolina.
Okay.
Thursday night, one game. St. Francis Catholic is at Florida School for the Deaf and Blind. And then all these games are Friday night. Classical Academy of Sarasota, they are at Bradenton Christian, who's 4-0. Shorecrest Christian or Shorecrest Prep, who's 3-0. They're at Lakeside Christian. This is a big one. Shorecrest 3-0, Lakeside 3-1. Liberty Christian Prep, they are at number 3 Real Life Christian, who is 4-0 on the season. First Academy of Leesburg, they're at Ocala Christian. First Academy 4-1, Ocala 4-2. Four Corners is at Oasis Christian. Legacy Charter is at City of Life. Geneva Classical and Lake Mary Prep. This is a big rivalry game. Both teams coming into it at 1-4. First Coast Christian is at Countryside Christian, who's looking for their first win of the year at 0-4. Tampa Slam is at Academy at the Lakes. Bell Creek is at Donahue Catholic. And then Hernando Christian 3-1. They're at number 16 All Saints Academy, who's 4-0. Merritt Island Christian 4-1. Just came off coming off their first loss of the year. They're at Calvary Chapel. Riverview Academy looking for their first win 0-4. They're at Foundation Christian. And then Cornerstone Academy, St. John Lutheran, and Eastland Christian all on a bye this upcoming week. Blake, what you got for North Carolina?
Yeah, absolutely. So, big ranked matchup right here. I don't know if I want to call this game of the week, James, but number 17, John Paul, JP2, they travel to Carry Christian to
It might
oh
be close to game of the week.
yeah, yeah. Um, big game right there. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but yeah, anyway, Madam Musket, they travel to Lawrence Academy. Lawrence Academy 3-2 on the year. Community Christian out of Wilson, they get a Northeast Academy. See, Pungo Christian, they travel to Rendell Parrott. the fifth ranked Randall Parrott team, number 13. Faith Christian, they go to St. David's. And Lee Christian, they play Wake Christian. Um, both teams still under 500. I'll go ahead and knock out CIC real
Go
quick.
for it.
Father Capodanno, they're on the road to Berean Baptist. Berean Baptist, excuse me, still looking for their first win, and I already covered Northeast. Liberty Christian and number 15 Sand Hills, both on their buys this week. So
Let's jump up to Virginia. Thursday night, one game. Um, Pretty cool military school matchup. Massanutten Military and Quantico High School. Quantico 0-3, Massanutten 0-4. So somebody's going to get their first win of the year. Let me look at something real fast. Number 6, Brunswick Academy. They are at Blessed Sacrament Huguenot. Kinston Forest is at Chincoteague. Southampton Academy is 5-0. They are at Greenbrier Christian. Okay, just double checking something. Yeah, we're good. Southampton at Greenbrier Christian. Randolph Macon, they are at Fishburne Military. A couple 2-1 teams in that one. Fuqua School, they are at Rappahannock County. Fuqua looking for their first win of the year. And then Broadwater, they are on a bye this upcoming week. And then, Blake, if you don't mind, I'm going to run through Seek
yep.
and let you get set up for the next one. Tri-Cities Christian, they are at Twin Valley High School. It's an 11-man game, so we'll see what happens there. Riverside Christian, they're at Lancaster Christian. Lancaster looking for their first win. Riverside has that first win of the year against Tabernacle, but they're on an 0-4 slide right now. Tennessee Tigers, Tennessee Heat. Big game here. I think it's a first-time matchup. Tigers, a second-year team. Let me see. I think it's a first-time matchup. Let me double-check myself. I'll check while I'm looking. Christian Community School. They are at Joe Burns High School. It's an 11-man game. And then the Chattanooga Patriots, they are at the Freedom Cowboys. Patriots coming off their first win of the year. Cowboys coming off that tough loss to Southern Christian. And then number 10, South Haven Christian, they are on a bye this upcoming week. Now, regarding South Haven, before we go do any more of the scores, Blake, I think you
Yeah.
had an update. You explained the bye week freeze, the
I
adjustment
can
clause for that.
we can put a disclaimer in the post.
Okay.
I think that's honestly best.
Yep, let's do that.
Yep. Okay.
All right, so Blake, what do you got?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll just run through everything
Go
and
for it.
we can call the show. All right, so JDA, they're on the road to Cross looking for their first victory. Number 11, Holly Hill, they travel to Cathedral Academy. Palmetto, right?
Yep, Palmetto, yep.
Yep, Palmetto. They're on the road to Kings Academy. Richard Wynn's on their bye. King Academy out of Batesburg, 5-0. They travel to Warlaw Academy. Hopefully, it's not a trap game for them. Lawrence Academy.
Blake, by the way,
They're on.
that's number 20 King Academy.
Oh yeah, number 20 King Academy.
Put some respect
Wink,
on their
wink.
name.
Yeah, wink, wink. Not referencing anything at all. Um, yeah, it's like the test. The teacher giving the answers to the test
Yeah,
during the
yeah,
test.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those. Yeah, it's like what are you talking about? Lawrence Academy, they're going to Newberry. Newberry's still searching for their first win. Let's go to Seafood CFA real quick. GSIC and the Coastal Hurricanes are on a bye, whereas the Augusta Eagles and the the number 7 Pack Panthers, host the Augusta Eagles. All of CFA is on a bye, so not much to talk about there.
Taking the week off.
And yeah, just take a week off. Kind of nice. Maybe it's fall break. I don't know. We'll see. All right.
Oh, I did mess that one up. Go ahead. I gotta update Heartland. I missed Heartland.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I did not. Let me just look it up. Abundant Life.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. Arkansas Christian, Max Preps. I don't think I've ever seen this one. Max Preps has them playing a non-varsity opponent, so a JV game probably. And then both Southwest and Abundant Life are on bye. So easy enough. That's Heartland.
Yep.
I think the only one we have left, Blake, I think is AAA. I think this is the only one we haven't done.
Yeah.
I'll run through it real quick. Thursday, one game, Woodlawn 2-0 at Southside, who is 0-2. Augusta, who supposedly has not played a game yet, they're at Brinkley, who's 0-2. Tunica, nope, that's last week. Okay, so let me pull up AAA real quick. That I take the L on that one. I had not updated AAA yet. We will get that updated for y'all. So Friday, Woodlawn 3-0 at Augusta, who still either hasn't played a game or we haven't gotten the score. Marshall High School is at Southside, who's looking for their first win. Rector High School is at Corning High School, who is 4-0 on the season. You've got Marvell High School at Cedar Ridge. Nope, that's last week. Friendship Aspire Academy is at Marvell High School. Woodlawn is 3-0 against Augusta. Brinkley is 0-2 at Hermitage. And then Strong, who has not played a full game this year, they are at Dermott High School for that one. And then in the club division next week, talked about Marshall Southside, Rector Corning, Sabayaco Academy 5-0. They are at Rosebud, who's 0-3. And Blake, that is all the games happening this upcoming weekend across 17 conferences and many independents. Again, we will be putting out the top 25. We'll put out the full rankings. We'll have the top 25 graphic on our social media. We'll put out the link so that you can see the entire rankings all the way down through 181 teams on the ranking. We'll have that out tomorrow, and then we will have the scoreboard ready for you guys for this weekend so you can see live scores. Blake, am I forgetting anything?
Nope. I don't believe so.
I think we got it. That'll do it for Extreme Talk, presented by Cornett Performance. Again, you can reach out to them. Shoot them an email, cornettperformance@gmail.com, or you can shoot them a DM on Instagram at Cornett Performance. Big shout out to the two winners from last week. Shout out to Fairlife Core Power Protein. Shout out to the two winners last week. Offensive Player of the Week, Levi Ashburn. Defensive Player of the Week, I feel terrible. Don't have his name. Trace Turner from Wake Christian. We'll have another Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week coming up this Wednesday. For Blake Biggs, I'm James Shannon. Thank you so much for listening to Extreme Talk, and we'll see ya.